I have at least 8.1 GB free. So that means I am having 7.5 GB usable. That is, it reaches a point where the camera usually decides, you know what, let me protect you, let me just leave some space for the normal operating systems or even apps, the normal functioning of the apps. It requires some storage. Even when placing a call, you require some free storage. Yeah, that phone app usually requires some storage so that it can function properly. So the developers of this camera app designed it in a way that it will leave some storage. It will leave some storage. There's a track. Yeah, that track that usually has this back that is movable. I don't know what it is doing, and I'm not interested in whatever it is doing. So that's the point. What I'm saying is that the developers of this camera app by Xiaomi, or even Xiaomi, basically it's just Xiaomi. As much as we call it Redmi, but it's just Xiaomi. They designed it in a way that it will reach a point. It's like the what do you call it? Something leash leash that leash moment. Okay, not moment, but that, oh my goodness, I'm forgetting the name. Leash. Oh, the threshold. Oh my goodness, yes, the threshold. Yeah, I'm remembering it has a she somewhere. So it's a threshold, the maximum storage threshold, and it needs to be maintained at that point such that you leave more space to the normal functioning. So that's how the developers designed this app to function. And in that regard, you have got to appreciate the work that they did so as to protect the knee. So I usually have about 3 minutes or even 4 minutes, 4 more or even 5 more minutes that I can record even after the camera has stopped working. I usually have that grace period of, not grace period, but at least 600 MBs left that I can record an extra 5 minutes. As much as the camera has stopped, but I'll have that leeway. So thanks to them, they know how to do things. It just calls for even anyone to be doing such nini. You can have some level of stress. You're worrying about many things, and at once it reaches a point, okay, you need to realize, okay, this is the point where I need to relax. This is just my threshold. I know I have an extra space to accommodate more stress, but this should be just the boundary where it should not cross. Just the same way as there was a frog that was put in a pot. Now we have 2 frogs for this experiment. The first frog was put in a pot, okay, with water, actually very cold water. That pot was put in a fire, okay, was put in a fire. A little stream of fire. How do you call it? A stream? A little, a little stream of fire that was gently burning. So the temperature of this water was gradually rising, slowly by slowly. No, not that fast, but it was very slow, small, like nini, and the frog is just there. Now, a body of any organism calls for it to just to adapt, it is just nature. You tend to adapt if you are placed in a new environment. So the frog's body was like, okay, that's too much of an warm water. Let me just stay here for longer, for just a minute or even two. Yeah, I'm enjoying it because the nini is becoming warmer. As this is going on, it went this for about 2, 3, 5, 10 minutes. So the degrees or the temperature of this water is rising, and now it's above actually 40 degrees. At this point, the frog isn't feeling it. It is just enjoying the time, And enjoying time means it won't feel the urge to move out. As it doesn't know that this is hot water. It continues staying here. 50 degrees, 60 degrees, and now the body of the frog starts to die slowly by slowly. Yeah. Now it can no longer handle this, but the brain of the frog has been tuned to becoming comfortable in this these new waters, and it's like, what is happening? It can't note it because the brain is in relaxation mode. Okay, and by that is what finally it reaches 100 degrees and the frog is normal. Like the water is boiling and it's normal. Why? It didn't note what it was doing until things were just the same way as they happened, and the frog had to take or even had to bear the consequences of relaxing. So now there's now another story of another frog. It was placed in another pot of water and placed in the same water, but now the difference is the heat from the heat source was a bit harsh. Like it was a bit harsh. So the frog sensed this and it jumped out. Okay, after realizing, okay, the temperatures are becoming too fast, unlike the other one which was gradual, like pole too. So this was gradual and it jumped out. What does that Nini tell you? What does this story teach you? If you get comfortable in a way and you don't notice it, you are likely to end up in the consequences of not doing it. Like the punishment for not for the punishment. This is not under punishment, okay? This is not justice, the court of justice. The point is, you've got to know where you are living right now. Right now, okay, what was I trying to say if I came here? So, okay, I was supposed to go somewhere with that story, but I've forgotten. I think I remember it, but if I don't, well, I have another lesson. You should never feel too comfortable in a place, too comfortable with someone, okay, or even with any situation. Everything is temporary in this world. Like everything is temporary, and that's actually one law. One of the laws of the universe. Everything will keep on changing. That is undeniably the most truth you can ever receive from someone. It will always be that way, like period, like done. Now, see that So that being said, you've got to appreciate the fact that it is what it is. It is what it is. Like, it is what it is. So, if I feel too comfortable, I think it's a lesson being taught to me by me. Okay, I didn't just came up with that story. I had no intentions of saying that story. So it's like someone is no, my higher me is warning me, bro. Don't feel comfortable. Start thinking. So by the way, I was planning today that I'm going to start my first Excel. You know, it's good to tell the story. Start the story from the beginning. Tell people what it has costed you for you to come to this point. Yeah, I realized, kumbe, you know, there's something that people most of the time underestimate. With the power of social media, by the way, this is just my observation, my honest observation. If you want to start something, start documenting it. Start documenting it. Like, each and every day, say that you have done this, and this. You have done today. You have done this and this and this. This and this. And you'll find that most of the time, what you'll be doing is that you'll be creating a version of a narrative that people can associate with. People will respect the journey that you have taken. Now, look at who has ever documented his journey or even his childhood. Who has ever documented their journey and they were like, hey, this guy has done a lot. Should I say Kabilem? Kabilem is actually it's a pretty good example of a person that I can use. He started, he lost his job. People didn't know that, but I feel like someone is listening to this. But that's not the point. Kabilem lost his job in 2020, and at that point he decided, you know what, it's not the end of life, let me just do something else. So he started recording himself, reacting to some things. Not talking, reacting to, without saying anything. 2021 consistency, he posts regularly. In that regard, or in that manner, he started to acquire a base of now funds. Yeah, he started to strengthen the fanini that he had, the base of funds that he had. Pole too, like he's just reacting to a meme and he doesn't nini. Okay, there's a way that Kabilem reacts to some things. Like he sees, okay, what's a good example? Like, I can have a heap of soil here. Okay, a heap of soil just here. Okay, I'm wondering. Okay, anyway, that's just a silly thought. I don't know why I'm actually laughing. So, a heap of soil is placed here, like just a heap, just not big, just a heap. Now, someone will record themselves moving that soil. Let's say I want to move that heap of soil from this place to another place, like behind me. Now, that someone will use a spoon to move that soil in many times, in teaspoonfuls. Okay, like moving kidogo. On the other hand, Kabilems decide to do the other version. Why don't you take a spade, take that heap of soil there and put it there? It's actually very simple. That's how Kabilem videos are. He actually is like, can't you just make these things easier? Like, there's a way of doing things easy and even simply and efficiently. Yeah. So that's the kind of videos that he records, and people like him a lot. And with that, by just posting such nini, he has gotten a fan of, I don't know, by the time that I got to know that he has a lot of followers, at that time he was about 200 million. 200 million, just because he's doing just some things without even talking about anything. I was talking about story. Yo, so you've got to appreciate the fact that if you do things consistently, it will create something in the mind of the audience. Yeah, and that is a story. That is a form of selling your brand, or creating a brand out of yourself. A story will create companies. A story will drive sales. That's actually what I learned from the 10 skills of life that everyone should have. Okay, but since no one has, knowledge is power. So a story will definitely drive. A story will always lead to more leads. A story will always lead to creating an impression to the reader's mind, or even reader's mind, or even the one who is seeing it. At least people can associate that with you. Either you are a company, you are an individual, you are whoever you are. Okay, you are an alien, doesn't matter. Okay, but a story will always kill, or will always attract a person interest, people with value to you, because of the story, the kind of story that you are giving. That's just how it is. A story is about a story will just create impressions. And where was I leading um, with this topic? I want to fast now. I'm going to learn Excel, okay? Only that right now it's a bit cloudy. Pun intended. There's a lot of clouds actually here. It looks cloudy. By the way, on my back, I've realized this. They are only blue, nini. But on my front, you can see there's a lot of gray clouds. So, that being said, I want to start a narrative. By the way, I'm using my TikTok account to be posting this story. Day one of learning Excel. Talk about it a little bit, like 1 minute, 2 minutes. Yeah. So, yesterday. Okay, before I actually come to yesterday, so we have at least uh, huh, we have at least, not at least, but we have 200 pixels. I'm only thinking of the Vivo X200. I don't know, X200 Pro. Okay, where was I leading with this story? So I'm starting to learn Excel, but I won't learn as normal as a normal person should. Ati unajifungia ati because you want to learn something. I've realized this is not the kind of me that I want. So, in fact, I have discovered that, or even I've come to the realization. Okay, not the realization, and it's not a regret. It's only that I was like, I think I should have learned Django the same way as I am planning to learn Excel. What do I mean by that? But at that point, at this moment when I was at home learning Django and Python and whatever stuff, I didn't document anything. My journey, I actually don't remember any. I don't remember the exact time that I started my learning or even web development. I didn't record, I didn't document, I didn't journal anything. And there's a power in documenting anything. As even this diaries that I record has taught me. It's actually a lot that I've learned from. Safaricom, stop bothering me. Okay, so um, Yeah, there's some power in documenting or even journaling. You've got to, in that manner, you learn a lot from whatever you are doing. And by the way, I've maintained this consistency for recording these diaries or even this journal. As I journal on these diary, I tend to learn a lot. It's like I teach myself a lot. That if I could have never done it, right now I don't know where I could be, by the way. There's a way that my thinking could have been in another setup, which is not conducive. Neither mm, neither 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 could I be, yeah, no, it couldn't have made an impression. Okay, that's just the point. That's just the fact of the matter. Okay, it couldn't have impressed it. It wouldn't be impress anyone. And now I've learned the power of social media. You can use social media to just create a brand out of yourself. And yesterday I was just having a debate with myself. My roommate now asked me, which job which job can I do right now? I told him something else. I think I told him something about affiliate marketing. But immediately after telling him this, since I was actually nilikuwa naanika mahindi hapo nje, I said to myself, okay, fine, I have done this. I have told him that. And I don't know, I don't understand how this happens. I don't understand why. But each and every time that I get a question and I answer it, some minutes later or even afterwards is when I get the answers that I could have given. I was like, I could have given him this answer, short answer. The best business that you can start for yourself is investing in yourself. Like, have value that people can come to you and buy that value or even that especially I'm talking now in terms of skills, that you have this skill that no one else has. They are willing to come and pay for it. They are coming to pay for your brain. That's just as it is, as easy as it is. People are going to pay for your whatever you have right now in your brain. That is what is important. That is the best business that you can never have for yourself, because one, it is very sustainable. Okay, you can eat from it for as long as you want. You live for 200 years, you live for 300 years. As long as there is no one who can compete with you, you'll always be winning. Plus, of course, your skill set is actually localized. No one else has it. As much as people might have the same nini, but you won't approach that in. Okay, the point is, we are different, okay? And that difference is what creates value. Okay? Creates scarcity. And scarcity, as we know it in business, will always result to high demand. So, while speaking of it, the best business that you can ever have is just yourself. Yeah? The best business. You know that you won't fail yourself. Okay, let's come around and analyze why I'm saying that the best business that you could ever have is. Definition of business. Business is the sale of goods and services in exchange for money. Okay? Currency. So, anytime you start a business for selling a specific physical product, it will always result, it is not sustainable. Question is, will you be there? Okay, if that product is there, what will you sell? The question of sustainability. Okay. Now, if anything happens, policies change. The government policy says that now, let's say you are selling cement. For example, just take it for an example. You are selling cement. Selling cement, it could reach a point. Okay, the government decide to tax the tax the to tax the to tax the raw materials for creating cement. What will that result to? High price of that item, that 50 kg bag of cement. What will that result to? Hiked prices, okay, generally, and that means people who are willing to buy that thing at, let's say it goes for 600 and now it goes for 800. The scarcity, okay, now people no longer afford it. So you'll find that people are now reducing the ability. Okay, and business is affected by one thing: the ability to buy something. You have a budget, you have money to spend on that thing, and now people are rendered um, um, people are rendered okay. In as far as that buying ability is concerned, at that point it is rendered. So business isn't as usual as it is. So drop in sales. And remember, you are tegemearing, you are depending on that thing, on that cement of bag, to pay your bills, to pay your school fees, to cater for your needs, okay? Because you are basically there to make money, make profit, and the profit margin has reduced. The profit has reduced because not many people are buying from you. So you find yourself that you'll be stuck. It will start struggling. Now, on the other hand, let's say someone else was what? Let's pick a skill, by the way. Okay, let me talk now about myself. Skill. Let's say I have equipped myself with an Excel skill set. Like I know Excel like crazy. Like I know a lot of Excel mathematics and tricks and what have you. That's just me. That's me being the best version of myself. Being the best professional in that field of Excel. Excel spreadsheets, you can call them Excel, whatever. Yeah, all that. So you'll find yourself, hiya, I'm just lost. Okay, I'm so good at this, such that I've treated my skill set as a business. Not at any point will the government influence how I sell. Like you get, not at any point will you convince me that the government policies and rules and even tax will affect me directly to how nini. In fact, government at this point could be imposing taxes on everything. What it will forget, okay, what it will, and considering by business is not physical, like it isn't a physical business, it's more of I'm very wealthy in the mind. Full of wits. My business isn't nini, I'm the business myself, okay? And the government can't tax me. Can't tax that brain. Yeah, it is what it is. So who between now Maxim Felix and the person who is selling that cement stands a better chance for survival or to thrive now in terms of sustainability? You get a point. So the best business that you could ever have is just invest in yourself. Have a certain skill that kings will just look for you. Yeah. I can decide, you know what, I'm going to learn Excel. Okay. And how I'm going to be documenting my documenting my journey in this TikTok nini that I'm planning to go into will result to, hiya, this person speaks very professionally, very confidently, and knows what he wants, and he's very objective on what. You mean that someone, a king, even let's say a president somewhere, just sees you and was just scrolling and sees my face, hears what I'm talking about very confidently, he's impressed. You want to tell me he won't be feel compelled to, young man, why can't you come to Nini? Let's say the government of Cuba. Let's say Cuba. The government, or no, the president of Cuba sees my video and this young man is actually very good at what he does. And he thinks of, let me employ this. Okay, let me work with this man. I think he has a lot to offer and he has a lot of knowledge. He has a vast Nini. Because I'm that kind of a person. I'm actually training to just be speaking big and impress big minds. So you'll even find that in that journey of documenting and telling your version of your story. Now, I was talking about business, treating me as a business. Let me not detour from that. Let me go back to the story. Now, the power of storytelling, the power of documenting, it creates a story like people can resonate with. So once I was on this point where I was at home. I was learning Python, Django, and web development. You know, I could have done it better. I could have done myself a big favor if could have learned it, or even I could have documented the journey on my phone, or even on my social media, any of my social media. So that being said, you're like, guy, you know, I could have done better. You know, I could have done that. I could have done something that is amazing. So, haya. I'm tired of speaking. I've been speaking for 30 good minutes. Is it 32 good minutes? I need to have a stop. Okay. You know, I usually don't plan to talk about anything when coming here. Me, whatever comes in my mind at this point is what I talk about. And I've become so good at it, I even don't notice it. I thank God because it's by His grace I'm here. And I do things just so seamlessly. It seems like it's so automatic. You know, I couldn't have done such a story if I couldn't have trained over time. If I could have, if I couldn't have started. Starting something is actually very difficult, but in the middle of it, you'll enjoy it. Oh my goodness! So back to whatever I was planning to say. So I have realized that if you document something, you are likely to learn more and become even good, better at it. You will just automatically become good at it, such that automatically it's just improving the efficiency. So if I could have documented my journey of learning HTML, CSS, by that point I think it's when I started my YouTube channel. That is, wait, these messages are just boring. So I have 10 minutes to finish what I'm saying right now. So wanted to release the gas in the mini. It's the mini is so clenched. As I was saying, you get so you've got to appreciate the fact that this ain't just normal. Yeah, it won't be a normal thing to you. That is okay. There's a difference between a person learning on their own without documenting and the person who will be documenting everything. No, okay, I understand that you need to do things silently, but by the way, I actually have grown this fear out of exposing yourself out of the camera, like on the camera, and by that I mean you try as much as possible to not appear in the camera because you are shy, you are an introvert, you are an ED. I've kidded that by the way. Right now I can comfortably start recording diaries. Actually, this journaling, this diaries that I usually do, has prepared me for that over time. For time I have grown out of that box. You know, a box is what limits your nini. So there'll be a person who will be, there's a difference between who the person who will be documenting what they are learning in a video. Just 5 minutes, take 5 minutes of what and record, document what you have done, as compared to the person who will not be doing it, just learning HTML CSS. There's a likelihood that the person who is documenting will note that, okay, kuna makosa hapa, I think I need to improve here, how can I do it better? So okay, and the urge to do that is being brought by the person that why okay, the justification behind posting, like I want to now be posting quality things, so that means I have to learn quality HTML CSS and I can improve myself better. I can have good explanation. You are becoming a good teacher through documenting. It will, by the documenting will not only teach you to, will not expose you to the world, but will make you even a person who can explain things better, as compared to the person who will not be. You are likely to find that actually, let's compare between the two. A person who is learning HTML CSS without documenting, just on their own, they feel like, okay, I need to do this. Okay, they have a plan. Let's assume that the two have a plan of how they are going to learn HTML, and let's assume to be on the plain ground level that they are doing the same things and in the same format, the same the same learning curve. Not learning curve, it's more of a roadmap. Yes, it's a roadmap. The roadmap is actually the same. They are following the same path, but you are likely to find that the person who documented is going to be better at how he delivers his points, how he articulates their learning, and how they teach. And again, at the same time, they are learning how to HTML CSS code with that language. Well, on the other hand, the other person will be okay. They will be learning, but there's no force pushing this thing. Okay, actually, the word that I was looking for, the concept that I was trying to build is that drive. One will lack a drive, one will have. The difference is documenting the journey. Create a story that people can relate. And yeah, I'm now planning to just record the first and it will be daily, just as how I record this. So my plan is I wake up every day. Okay, I will be waking up at almost at 10. I think at 10. At 10, I start. I think for the whole night I'll be focusing on forex. Forex. I'll be waking up at 10, 11 in the night. You know, at night for that matter, or even at 12. I'm not sure about this. but just immediately, uh, just before or even after the next day starts. Like I'll be starting in the day after the day starts. The day starts at 12 a.m. Yeah, I'll be waking up with the day, with a new day. So learn forex for 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, at least 12. Okay, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At maybe at I'll reach a point at 8 is when I'll stop now learning forex. I discard it. See, I've learned a lot from that 8 hours. 8 hours. 8 hours of dedication and hey. Yeah, it's a habit that I'm actually cultivating to get into. So that being said, I'm looking at the back to see if something is moving. So I have 8 hours of learning forex. I take 1 hour break of. So this is at 8. Maybe at 9 or even at 10 is when I decide. Okay, I have almost 2 hours. 2 hours in between me stopping forex, me doing some things in between. I'll have at least 3 hours of just commuting, diarying, creating a diary, and then at see, I usually finish these diaries at about, and even whatever I do after recording these diaries, I usually get into my prayers, my daily prayers, and even affirmations. I finish, it's like a self reflection. It's like, it is like I take time to listen to my higher self. Okay, I take that time. So I treat all this time to just for self improvement. So after 9, I think 9:30 is where, okay, or even let's say at 10, at most 10. 10 is when I okay. Now between 8 and 10 we have about 2 hours. 2 hours I can be reading something. I can be reading the Bible. I think it's the best time to read something new. I'm reading a book right now, how to split the difference. Split the difference. Oh, do not split. Okay, I don't remember the title of the book, but it is teaching me how to negotiate with anyone. Life is negotiation. You are speaking to God. You are negotiating. So I've got to learn how to negotiate. Learn the skill set. Actually, try them out. But then I learn how. Okay, how should I? Power, knowledge without being used is just useless. It's just useless anyway. It is just rendered useless because you are not using it anyway. Where can I use it to be used to be? Anyway, I'm learning a lot from this story. So, from this book, what was my point? I was talking about if you get a moment of wait, what was I? What was I talking about? Yeah. I have 2 hours of reading new materials. If the bed needs to be cleaned, it should be cleaned at this point. And now, yeah, it should just be cleaned. Cleaned. You will make your bed. If it's my time to now do the cleaning of the what do you call it? What do you call it? This moving things. Oh. So I'm cleaning. Okay, my duty of cleaning. Okay, if it calls for me to do that, wait. That's not a really a good. That's not a good move. That's really not a good move. Why I say this is because you can't have, you can't, I'm sure you're not comfortable touching water before actually before doing the diaries. I would rather have the diaries done fast than cleaning fast. So I have 2 hours of doing whatever it needs to be done. So at this 2 hour period, I should actually be yes, I should actually be updating my social media with new content, new fresh content. So I've spent almost about 8 hours on doing something. So of course my brain is actually very active. So at this point, I think the 2 hour window is the time that I should be utilizing to update my DNI, learn new things, scroll through social media, TikTok, Kidogo, and I'll be out. After that, I come to now record my diaries. That's about 10 to 11:30, often 10:30 to 11:30. But it's usually a time that will be used in commuting. So after that, at 12, I make sure that I'm ready to go to the library. I learn some Excel for about 5 hours. I give it about at most 5 hours. 5 hours. So this is about 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Wait. There's I don't want to. Okay. At about 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 5. At 5, I think I should be now. This is a time at 5 to even 6 or about 7 there about. I decide, okay, it's the time to record or even document, to create content, for myself, for actually Maxipy and even myself, the Excel, and I'll be done for the day. Okay, I'm trying to figure out my day, and since I'm no longer focusing on school, I've even heard that my classmates are doing some statistics and they are in another group. I wasn't interested in getting to that group. I no longer have interest in school. That's just as truth as it is. So I say to myself that in a matter of seconds, in a matter of in a matter of so it's upon me to figure out, oh my goodness, 48 minutes, fuck. Okay, I need to stop recording because I don't have storage. So that's it. I should figure out, that's how my day will look like. In the evenings is when I'll be recording, both for Maxipy, and I think I'll be testing new AIs in the mornings. In that 2 hours, I'll be doing something. Get into the internet, do something, test AI, because from that, I'll be creating content in the evenings. And I need some time in between so that I can develop some, what will I say? What will I do? Unconsciously, that's what I'll do. I'm doing a lot of mathematics, only that they are unconscious. I usually do that. I'm good at do something, create space, focus on other things, and then come back and deliver the content. So most of the time, I think I'll be recording my content in this 2 hours period, and at 7 I sleep. So at 7, okay, thank goodness I usually am compressing these videos. The video has just stopped. Yeah. So I have about 3 or 5 minutes to say whatever I'm supposed to say. I'll compress this video anyway. So yeah, at about 7 is when I will go to sleep. Like, bye bye. So 7, I usually spend about 6 hours at sleep. So that means 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So at about 1 in the morning, or even at night, is when I'll be waking up and now do something. Just get yourself busy with Forex, learning Forex. And the plan is first go to the news. What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? Okay. What is happening? What is happening? I should now create that habit of I know what to do after this, after this. There's a sequence. Before even analyzing the charts, you have identified that okay, this is how the market is. I have some knowledge. Okay, sawa. Start reading the charts. Okay, sawa. Of course, I'll be backtesting my methodologies in just 2 months in TradingView. I can't place my money. Okay, I can place my money right now. I can bet my own money, but I want to backtest this for about 2 weeks. My plan, like my strategy, is it working? It's working each and every day. It's working. And in this, so that will be my cycle. That will be the cycle of my day. Like I wake up, Forex for 6, 7, actually 7, 8 hours, done. 2 hours of whatever you need to learn new. Treat it as what will you learn new. After this, go to the library. Okay, come to this diary. Done. Go to Nini. Done. And then that will be it. Of course, I'll create exceptions in on weekends, because you need to relate with people. You need to talk to people. You need to keep in touch with your friends, bana. That's just how it is. And yeah, that actually that I have made up my day just like that. I don't know how comfortable it is for me to sleep at this point, but I think okay, the people that that I've lived with for the past I don't know how many months, I realized they place their call in the evenings, like, and they are very loud, by the way, very loud, and I'm like, okay, so yeah, yeah. You even need to to be visiting your girlfriends, and since I'll be a father in now just 8 months to come, so I should be preparing for that. So yeah, just that's just that. Okay, so I wanted to make up so I have about 5 minutes, but it's okay. Let me finish this diary because I will be discontinued by the camera, by the system. So yeah, I've talked about a lot and I've learned a lot for that matter. If it can be shaken, it can be moved. Until tomorrow, adios.